Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my videos. This demonstration is a follow-up from my burger bun video, and as promised, here's how we make our beef burgers to go in those buns. And here's a list of the ingredients I'll be using to make them. Apart from the minced or ground beef, the eggs, onions and salt, you can flavour the burgers with whatever spices and herbs you like. I'll be using chilli powder, mixed herbs, garlic powder along with 3 beef stock cubes to flavour mine. I'll be using my mini food processor in this recipe, but if you don't have a processor, just finely chop the onions and mix everything together in a separate bowl. Okay, I'll start the recipe by peeling and roughly chopping the onions ready to go into my little mini food processor. I'll have to do this processing in 2 steps in this little machine, but it's still quicker and less washing up than getting out my big food processor. But like I said earlier, if you don't have a machine, just finely chop the onions and mix everything together in a separate bowl. Right, I'll put in half the onions and then crack in 1 of the eggs, followed by the salt, garlic powder or granules, hot chili powder and the mixed herbs, and give that a quick whiz until the onions have been chopped small. These little mini food processors are great for all sorts of recipes like salad dressings, pestos, toast toppings, chopping herbs, lots of things, and they're pretty reasonably priced and robust too. I've been using this one for many years. I'm not being sponsored by the way, but I do like to give credit when and where it's due. One of the major benefits of making your own burgers is the price. Out of this batch I'll be making 6 210 grams, that's 7.5 ounce burgers, which work out at 1/3 of the price of similar burgers at my local supermarket. Plus you know exactly what's going into yours. That's got to be worth thinking about. Once that half of the ingredients have been processed, I'll put in the rest of the onions and the other egg and give that a quick whiz and add it to the bowl with the other batch. Then I can get the machine cleaned up and put away before moving on to the next step in putting these burgers together. Right, the meat I'll be using in this recipe is 1 kilogram, that's 2.2 pounds of minced beef. You may know that as ground beef. You can use other meats. Pork is very nice. Chicken is okay but can be a bit dry. And you can even use a combination of meats. Whatever meat you use, make sure it has around a 15 to 20% fat content. This ensures the burgers are juicy and succulent. Okay, time to start putting these burgers together. Mix and add the contents of the dish to the meat in the bowl. Then I can crumble in the stock cubes. But like the caption says, this is an optional step. You don't have to use these. The burgers will be delicious without the addition of a little MSG. But I love the extra beefy kick these cubes add to the recipe. Okay, I'll start to mix the ingredients together, and the best tool to do this is your hands. In real time this took me around 4 minutes to do. You have to make sure all the ingredients are thoroughly blended evenly throughout the mix. Try to use a wide bowl for this type of recipe where you have to use your hands to do the mixing. The reason is you can comfortably get your hands and wrists into a wide bowl while your elbows are away from your body. If you use a small bowl, it will be cramped and become very uncomfortable after a while. Okay, once everything is thoroughly amalgamated, check the weight of the mix. Then divide it into however many burgers or patties you want. I'm making 6, so I'll divide the gross weight, which is 1266 grams, by 6, and that gives me a burger weight of 211 grams, that's 7.5 ounces each. A little trivia. Beef burgers, as we now call them, originate from Hamburg in Germany, hence the name hamburgers. Thank you, Germany. Now all you have to do is weigh each one and shape them with your hands as shown. Don't worry if they're not all exactly round like bought ones, they are homemade after all. Just make sure you get them all the same weight, or there could be confrontations at the Sunday afternoon barbecue over different size burgers. There you go, a work of art. Now I'll get 5 of them on a tray which I'll later freeze individually in freezer bags. So you can make and freeze these well in advance of a function, as indeed you can with the burger bun recipe. However, don't freeze these if you've already used frozen mince to make them. Never refreeze raw meat. The only way you can refreeze meat is if you cook it first. Only then is it safe to refreeze. And I'll leave the last one to demonstrate how I put one of these burgers together. Right, obviously the best way to cook a burger is on a barbecue grill over charcoal, but it's chucking down with rain at the moment, so I'll do this one in the frying pan on a medium heat. First I'll add a little vegetable oil to the pan just to get things started, but the burger will render out its own fat as it cooks. I've found the ideal time is 4 minutes on each side, whether on a barbecue grill or in a frying pan on this medium flame. I flip mine every 2 minutes for a total of 8 minutes. While the burger is happily cooking away, I'll start prepping a few things, beginning with the bun. If you would like to know how I make these no-knead burger buns, I'll leave a link in the description box below this video. I always like to toast my bun before making up the burger, just enough for it to become crispy with a little colour. It also makes the burger look more appetising. Right, I'll just check how my burger's doing and flip it over for the last 2 minutes while I prepare the filling. I'll start by thinly slicing some of my homemade mature cheddar cheese. There's a video on my channel on how I make this traditional cheddar, along with a video of me opening it 9 months later. I'll leave links in the description box below for those videos too if you want to have a look. It's a very interesting process making cheese at home. Right, I'll give both sides of the bun a good dollop of mayonnaise and spread it out. Time to add the burger to the base of the bun. Then get the cheese straight on while the burger is still hot so it melts. Next is a generous slice of a large beef tomato, followed by some lettuce leaves and some freshly ground pepper. Now I'll get the top on and cut it in half so you can see the inside. Right, I'll get the burger onto a serving plate with a couple of wooden skewers to hold them in place and clean up a little before having a bit of a taste test. Okay, here I go, straight in. And also, I forgot to mention, toasting the bun helps hold it all together when you eat it. And just as I knew, having eaten many of these over the years, it is absolutely delicious. And it's thumbs up for another recipe. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in the kitchen and bye for now.